Hi and welcome back to BookTube with Amy. Today we are kicking off into August with my first book review, the first indie book that I decided to pick up in August. So today we are talking about Benny Rose, the Cannibal King by Hailey Piper. This is the first Hailey Piper book that I've ever picked up, but I know that she is a bit of an indie horror darling and her writing loads and loads of people love. She's won awards, but this is my first entry into her writing. So basic premise of this book: small local town has a local ghost story about Benny Hill, the Cannibal King, and you know, some people really believe it to be true, some people just believe it to be a ghost story, like all of these stories. And then Halloween hits, and our main group of kids that we're following find out that it is not just an urban legend, and in fact Benny Rose is real, and so they need to find out how they're going to survive the night, how they are going to figure out what's happening, how they're going to figure out how to kill Benny if they can, so that they can live, and just sort of figure out what's going on in their wee town. So I am going to talk spoilers for this because it's a single book review and I feel like I can't really go into the depth of the story without talking too much about spoilers. But before we get into spoiler territory, I just want to say I really enjoyed the writing in this book. I felt like it was really easy to follow, I felt like it flowed pretty well. The only thing that let this down for me is I didn't really feel like many of the characters were fully developed characters other than Benny himself, which I appreciate, he's the main man, but he doesn't get a hell of a lot of page time compared to the other characters that we're following, and I just didn't feel anything for these other characters, to be honest. I didn't connect to them, I didn't pity them, I didn't fear for them. There was just no connection there for me at all. I felt like they were pretty one-dimensional and they were there just so that Benny had people to try and kill, truthfully. I didn't enjoy that element of it, and I feel like I wanted more Benny. The scenes where he featured were written brilliantly and they were gruesome and grim and I loved it, but I really wanted more. I feel like we didn't get enough of him in this book for me. I appreciate it as short, however. So this ended up being a 3-star read for me. I still really enjoyed the horror elements, I still really enjoyed the legend of Benny, and I think that he was a really cracking monster to have featured in this book, and he'll definitely stick with me, but the rest of the story probably won't. So spoilers then. So this book features a sort of a new girl coming to school, and she's never really, her parents have just died, and so she's just went to live with her gran, and she's just starting out at this new school, and some of the popular kids decide that they're going to play a bit of a prank on her, and they stage an elaborate Benny Rose themed prank where, you know, they're going to tell ghost stories, and then their boyfriends are going to like jump in and scare her and give her a wee bit of a fright and stuff, almost as like a wee bit of a hazing, because I think one of the girls' boyfriends has taken a wee fancy to her, and so they want to get like a wee bit teenage revenge. I appreciate that most of these horror slasher novels slash films start with a group of teenagers, like that's just how it works, but I just didn't care for any of the teenagers here. I really didn't connect to any of them, and like I think Hailey tries to really make you connect with them because we do get quite a lot of backstory for these teens. You know, we find out a lot about our new girl and how her parents died and now she's living with her gran, and we find out a lot about our main protagonist and how she has had issues with her mum, how her dad left, how, you know, her and her mum's tensions have been heightened because she went out the Halloween before sort of looking for Benny, and so we do get quite a lot of backstory, but I just didn't feel like it was sufficient. I didn't feel like that helped me actually build a relationship with these characters. It was almost like just facts that I knew about them as opposed to it being like character building. They didn't have any depth. It was what really let me down, and so to be honest, like their names are pretty mixed in my head, and it was hard to keep track of like who's who and who had died and who hadn't, because I just didn't really care about any of them. That being said, the writing in here around the scenes with Benny when he is eating these kids were absolutely exquisite. So Benny does not like to eat dead flesh. He likes his victims alive, and so he will eat you alive, and those like mad jaws just coming towards you was terrifying, and I really loved that element of it. Like I say, I think that Benny was one of the best bits in this book. His backstory, excellent. You know, there's like a real twist at the end as well, which I am not going to spoil, but you know, I felt like I really enjoyed the twist, and that really helped pull the book through for me. Although I feel like the end of it was wrapped up far too quickly for my liking, I really did enjoy that twist, and I didn't really see that coming. And I liked the element of the older people in the community sort of helping Benny, and so all of this takes place like in a retirement village, and basically the older people have a bit of a deal with Benny that none of them will have kids like on their properties, and so if they bring kids in, then Benny's gonna come alive and eat them. So they're like, cool, well, we didn't want kids here anyway, we're old, we're curmudgeonly, like we didn't want any young fresh life here, so fine, done deal. But obviously our new girl's parents had died, and she has to go back and live with her gran, and so her gran sort of just leaves her here to fend for herself, knowing full well that she is going to get munched. Just pretty horrific. But you know, the kids are going to some of the older people's houses to try and seek help, and it's not until like a few houses in they actually realise like, shit, these old guys are like in cahoots with him. And that's terrifying, like, because you think that you're like, old people were lovely and sweet and they'll do anything they can to help you and you'll be safe, and they just give you like such a comforting feeling. And so for them to be in total cahoots with Benny, again, it was just like another jaw drop moment that I didn't really see coming, and I thought that added a really interesting element to the book as well, because they were like, we didn't really care what he does to you, like we didn't want kids round about here, yous are loud, yous are rambunctious, yous have no respect, so like, you know, praise to him for eating yous, like he does peace. And I did really enjoy that element of it as well. I would definitely pick up more Hailey Piper in the future, and hopefully I would connect to some more of her characters. I think that if there was some really decent character connection and character development in here for me, then I could definitely see future reads from her being a 5-star, because I did really enjoy all of the horror elements in here, and I really enjoyed the twists and the turns, and I didn't see them coming. But like I said earlier, this was a 3-star read for me. That it was really fun, it was a very quick read, I had a fun time with it, I was just ultimately missing that connection. Thank you very much for watching, hopefully you're enjoying everything you're reading at the moment. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!